Hey everyone, it's Sani. I'm going to continue with my hooded eyes tutorials, and I'm going to do hooded eyes, how to do a smoky eye on a hooded eyelid. Now I'm doing it quite natural, kind of a browny kind of smoky eye, but you can do this with any palette you want. You can do it totally black, you can do it with grays, you can do it with purples. The main thing is that you kind of, when you start doing a smoky eye on a hooded eyelid, you need to keep checking. So when I'm applying, when I'm applying stuff, my lids are like this, and you know, I'm doing that. And I can't really see exactly straight on, so you need to relax your eye and keep checking straight in the mirror. So look straight in the mirror and how much of it you can see. So if you can't see anything above your crease, then it's not actually gonna look like a smoky eye. So you need to go a little bit above your crease, or a little bit when your eyes are open. But if you go too far, then it just starts looking like a mess, and that's a mistake a lot of people do when they're doing a smoky eye. They go too far up and it just doesn't look great. So you have to strike a balance between both of them. I usually keep my eyes open when I decide how far the eyeshadow is gonna go. And another thing is lashes, of course. Us hooded eye girls need good eyelashes. Mine are fake because my own eyelashes are just puny. They're not good. If you've got amazing eyelashes, first of all, I'm very jealous. Secondly, just curl them and put on tons of mascara. You don't need to wear fake lashes if you've got hooded eyes. I just like to, because I love eyelashes. I really, really love them. But just before I get started, you know, I've said this in other hooded eye tutorials, but I just want to reiterate it, because a lot of people think that hooded eyes are somehow a design fault. You know, it is not something, it's not good. And for me, some of the most beautiful women in the world have hooded eyes. You know, Anne Hathaway has them, Emma Stone has them, Giselle has them, Kate Blanchett has hooded eyes. There's so many amazing, amazing, gorgeous women that have them, and you know, no one would ever think that they're less beautiful because of them. So to anyone that's been struggling, please remember my words that, you know, there are eye shapes, it's just an eye shape. It's not a beauty flaw or anything like that. So I encourage you to play with eyeshadow anyways, and I'm going to stop talking and we're going to start playing with eyeshadow. I'm going to start off with MAC Paintpot in Groundwork. Another good one is Constructivist. I love that. And I am using the Tom Ford in 03. This is actually, I believe, a concealer brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the moving part of my eyelid with the Paintpot. This gives an excellent base for powder eyeshadows to stick to. I also run it under my eye. This is more just, again, to give powder eyeshadow a base to stick to. So the color is a little bit darker than my own eyelid color, and it comes just above my crease, but it's very, very subtle. I'm then going to take one of my new loves. This is the Wet n Wild Enlisting for Beauty, and I'm going to use the lightest color and my MAC 217. And the lightest color is just going to go on my brow bone. I'm then going to take the eyelid color, which is kind of a beautiful taupe. I'm going to keep using the same brush and just do my eyelid. Now this is where us hooded eye girls need to start paying a lot more attention. So if you do a smoky eye and you don't go at all above the crease, it just looks a little bit weird, because it'll look really dark by your lash line but then nothing. So you need to make sure that you go just above the crease here. And also, if this part is super, super kind of like heavy, I like to cover part of it with the darker eyeshadow, because then it pushes it back, it makes your crease, creates more of a crease, so to speak. And it just takes away from the heaviness of the brow bone. As you can see, the color I used on the brow bone is actually quite dark for a brow bone highlight, because we don't want to highlight that area. We want to almost recess it, but you don't want to put anything dark there either. But so when I look straight ahead, I should be able to see this color. So just always keep checking in the mirror what your eye looks like when it's open and you're looking straight ahead. I can't emphasize enough how important it is when you have hooded eyes. I'm going to move on to a slightly smaller brush. This is the Illamasqua, I think this is just called the eyeshadow brush. I love it. It's a little bit longer than a 239 and a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go into the crease color, but I'm not actually using that. Well, I am using a little bit of it on the crease, but I am using it all over my eyelid. And I haven't powdered my skin, by the way, so I'm not too worried about fallout. And I'm patting it on the eyelid. And then when I start going closer to the crease, what I like to do is I just put the brush just where I can see it when my eye is open and do almost like a little line like that. And then when I close my eye, or when I look straight in the mirror, I can see where that is, and that is as far as I'm going to take this dark color. Now that place will be different for everybody depending on how hooded your eyes are, so you just have to kind of find that place yourself. I'm just for a second going back to the 217 and blending out the edge. I'm then taking one of my biggest brush loves. It's the Tom Ford number 12 brush, and I'm still using the darkest color. And now I'm going to go under. So where we put that paint pot, I'm just kind of like patting this, and it sticks so much better when you put a paint pot first. And then also I'm making sure that that outer corner here, the little outer V, is kind of connected to the lower lash line. Bobbi Brown Espresso and, sorry, what is the actual name of it? Bobbi Brown Espresso in Longwear eyeshadow gel. Wow, that's a long color. And the Suku eyeliner brush, my absolute favorite eyeliner brush. And I am going to do my waterline. I like to do 2 coats, so I let one dry and then I do another one. So I'm going to do top and bottom. I don't think I'll show you the, well, I guess I will. It just looks horrible. So you just pull your eyelid up and you do your upper lash line as well. And really, when you're doing this, really work it into the root of the lashes. Just like really rub it into those roots. And then also I'm going to do my, just like a normal eyeliner. I'm not doing this very carefully because we're actually smudging it out in a minute. So I'm just doing it quite quickly. You could use a pencil for this as well, but I just happen to be like such a lover of the gel liner, so I almost always reach for these. So before that's completely dry, so you need to move quite quickly on this. I'm switching brushes. I'm using the Tom Ford 15 and I'm switching to, oh my god, this is a new love, RMK Indigo Blue. I want more RMK eyeshadows. But what I love is actually when you're doing a brown smoky eye or any kind of a smoky eye, I love going on top of the eyeliner if it's black or if it's dark brown with an indigo color. It just, a long time ago, I saw a picture of Brigitte Bardot and it looked like she was wearing dark blue eyeliner on top of brown eyeshadow. I'm sure it was just the picture, and because it's so old, the picture, that the colors had degraded, but it just looked so beautiful to me that I have loved doing this trick. And blending again, and I'm going to clean up that fallout under the eyes because we're pretty much done with the eyeshadow part. Just quickly using my CC cream to clean up all of that fallout. I'm using the Jordana Best Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara. Now for me, with hooded eyes, lashes are super important. Because I'm going to put on fake lashes as well, I'm not going to curl my lashes beforehand. If you're not going to wear fake lashes, really curl them well first. And look, there you go. A little bit of Jordana to the rescue. It's good to show a couple of smudges here and there. Okay, and the show must go on. Even though I'm wearing fake lashes, I always do like to put on mascara first because my lashes are so fair that they show up if I don't do this. For the bottom lashes, I really like to almost create some clumps at the roots of the lashes. So I go in with the tip of the wand and just really run it at the roots of the lashes. I am creating serious clumps here, but for a smoky eye, I love that. So I'm putting on my absolute favorite Red Cherry 43s. These are, in my opinion, amazing for hooded eyes. I'm using the Duo Lash Glue as well. They are the longest just here, so they give your eye that kind of a lifting effect, and the lashes are long. They're wispy and long, and for me, I mean, they are long. They're longer than some people might like, but for me, they're perfect. I love them. I'm going to put a tiny bit of mascara as well on top. So just go above your lashes, kind of like go above your lashes. Stick the center. The inner corner, if you get a little smudge of glue there, it doesn't really matter. And then pull the outer edge in. A little bit more mascara. I like to put a little bit of mascara to break up the evenness of fake lashes. Add a couple of clumps in there. Well, not necessarily big clumps, you know, but just make them look a little bit more real that way. So that's the smoky eyes finished. Now I am gonna run through all the stuff that I have on the rest of my face. So if you don't want to hear what's on the rest of my face, then thank you so much for watching and bye. But if you do, I'm gonna tell you that now. So as my base, I'm using the Lumene, if you're from Finland, CC color correcting cream in light. I bought it in a medium and light, and actually I think I should mix the two, and that would be like the perfect shade for me. But in the summer I would be the medium, in the winter I'd be the light. Now I should have mixed. I just used the light and I think it's a little bit too light for me. Then on top of that I have my Laura Mercier mineral powder, and then I set that with the e.l.f. high definition powder. As my bronzer, I've got the Rimmel Sun shimmering maxi bronzer. And as my blush, I have, oh my god, this is an amazing blush, Illamasqua Katie. Looks insanely light when you put it on. You just go, this isn't going to work for me, but you just work it in and it's really, really beautiful. But it's actually not the easiest blush, I would say, to work with. And then I've got my highlighter love, the Laura Mercier, what is the official name? Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Highlight 01. Love this stuff. And on my eyebrows, I have the Laura Mercier Brow Definer in Fair, another must-have product for me. And I've lined my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Reshape and Resize Lip Liner. And then on my lips, I have one of my all-time favorites, Max Plink. I don't know how many of these I've gone through, it's a luster, but I absolutely love, love, love it. So yeah, I think that's everything I have on my face. Looks like it, because everything's kind of laid out here. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!